forget to record. Y'all have got to stop that. I'm recording now. Angie says, I'm not a vegan or vegetarian. Just wanted to hear what Travis had to say. See how he loves everybody so much. That's right. I love you because God loves me, right? So we're going to get started. We got more people than I thought. Funny thing, this was when we put out the schedule last week, this was the least registered for class by far. But when we looked at what people had been requesting the most over the year, it was a class on veganism and vegetarianism. But yet it was the least registered for class. I can tell you why. A lot of people want to do it, but a lot of people ain't ready to do it, right? Michelle says, gave up meat a long time ago. All right, well, we're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen. Let me get it up, and we're going to get our PowerPoint started here. Now, while the PowerPoint is up, I won't be able to see the chat as well, okay? So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'll come back to you. I hope you take some good notes today. Those of you that registered for Zoom, you'll get a copy of this recording and the materials in your email. Please don't give the materials out. We trust you, okay? All right, so let me share. All right. Here we go. Looks healthy. I'll make sure this is up, and then we're going to roll. Yep, here we go. All right, we just transitioned. That looks healthy, don't it? So let's talk about veganism and vegetarianism. First of all, I said that I'm not a vegetarian and I'm not a vegan. And at this point in time in my life, nor Michelle's talking about the alkalinity of it, nor do I want to be. I don't have any desire to be, but I see many benefits in incorporating it into my lifestyle. And we'll talk about that some at the beginning and the end. This is my weekly timing chart online. Mine may look different than yours because I have a gold level membership. So I've got different types of day than just a perfect day, excuse me, and a holiday. I have intermittent fasting days, and I have what I call divine days. Okay, if you look at this, you'll see that 2 days last month, first of all, I had 3 holidays last month. I had quite a few perfect days, a lot of efficient fat burning days, but I had 2 divine days. And that's where I'm following the Shibboleth combination principles, but the combination principles control my blood sugar so I can lose body fat. But I had days where it was clean eating days. And there's several ways to do that within Shibboleth, but these 2 days in particular were very restrictive in that it was just plant-based foods. I only ate plant-based foods those days. I'll show you what I did both of those days at the end. I kept it simple, but at the end of this broadcast, I'll show you what I did. And here's what studies are showing. To get the benefits, to receive some of the amazing health benefits of living a vegetarian lifestyle, you don't have to live it every day. Now, if you do, I commend you. We need to talk about the pros and cons of that, of course. And in fact, just to jump out of the information, I'm more of a pescatarian than I am just a original Shibboleth guy these days. I pretty much stick with fish and plant-based foods. Now, you wouldn't also incorporate shellfish, and I do, but I eat lots and lots of fish, and I eat a lot of plant-based foods. Now, Shibboleth is not a lifestyle where you have to do that. Shibboleth's a lifestyle where you can even have cereal. Cereals, name brand cereals that you know about, we're just going to combine a different milk with them. Shibboleth is a program where you can have ice cream and pizza and all kind of things because we want to make it practical. We want everybody, regardless of where they're at, with their level of health and wellness, to be able to to do Shibboleth, I've got to meet you where you are. We take a lot of flack from the clean eating group about us telling folks that they can have turkey spam in a can, or that, or we tell them that they can have canned whatever, or that we tell them they can have Advanced Health Systems macaroni and cheese that comes dehydrated with some preservative in it. We take a lot of flack from people like that, but what I can't get through their heads, and I'm going to keep trying, is I can help very few people if I don't give people void replacements for their favorite goodies, Diet Coke, whatever it is. If I don't give void replacements to them to make the program doable and don't meet them where they are, they won't be successful. They just won't. Everybody can't do what Brittany's doing or Michelle's doing right out of the gate. They can later if they want to. And if you want to be an ambassador for eating clean and you're in good shape, first of all, if you're overweight, don't take offense. I'm not pointing at anybody. If you're overweight and you're a vegan or vegetarian and you're not moving in the right direction with your body mass index, you don't really need to be preaching vegetarianism. And here's why. A true vegetarian, a true vegan that's doing it right, they're also eating in moderation, and they're not eating sugar and starch. We're going to talk about why that's such a problem in the vegan and vegetarian community in a little bit. And it is a real problem. But until you fix your own waistline and extend your own lifeline with your vegan and vegetarian preaching, I would prefer you not get on to me, because here's what we're doing. The leading cause of cancer and heart disease, everything that causes premature death, the leading cause of it is obesity. And I'm just being honest. I can take somebody and give them a traditional bowl of cereal on a budget in the morning, a Wendy's chili at lunch, and for dinner a turkey spam sandwich, and help them lose more weight. It'll make a vegetarian's head spin. And at the end of the little challenge, my group will have a better blood panel than the vegetarians, because they're getting all that sugar and starch and don't even realize how it's been being force-fed in their mind and down their throats. So I'm just saying, if you do it right, it can really give you some positive health and wellness results. If you do it wrong, you're no better off than those that are eating meat, okay? So what I have found for me is when I get to feeling sluggish, feel like my body's still trying to process meat and animal products that I've eaten, then I start during the month incorporating what I call these divine days, mostly plant-based, right? So anyway, the research shows that you don't have to be or live that way every day. You can incorporate fasting and divine days. You can incorporate those into your lifestyle and still reap a lot of the benefits of a vegetarian vegan lifestyle. But again, if you do it every day and do it right, you're going to get some good results. If you understand the cons, you're going to have to supplement. You'll probably have to supplement some, because vegetarian, we'll just get into it. All right. So anyway, a vegetarian, what's the difference? We get this question a lot. A lot of times I'll have someone say, I'm a vegan. Can I do your program? And then when I ask them questions, I find out they don't know they're not a vegan. They think they're a vegan. So let's get our labels right. A vegetarian. Here's the ones that, man, it's really hard to break through with them, because there's so many different types. To some degree, you'll have to do some research on your own. A vegetarian, there are many different types of vegetarians. Some exclude meat, poultry, and seafood. And that's all they exclude. And they incorporate some types of dairy. Others don't include any dairy. Some do, some don't. Some exclude some types of dairy, not other types of dairy. Some eat eggs, some don't. but it doesn't matter on planet Shibboleth. We're going to show you the proper substitutions. Again, if you eat some, if you will consume some dairy, that gives you more variety. If you exclude dairy, it's okay. We're still going to be able to help you. Vegans are different. Vegans exclude all animal products of any kind. They even exclude honey because bees make honey. A true vegan even excludes household products that are made from animal products or household products that were tested on animals. So a vegan's a pretty serious person. Why would anybody do this? For honorable reasons. Number one, environmental reasons. A lot of times people, what you're talking about, if you've got a true vegan, is somebody really walking in some integrity. I don't have to agree with their opinions, but I admire them because they're walking in integrity. They're really trying not to be a hypocrite, right? So they've moved over to a vegan lifestyle for environmental reasons. A lot of folks understand that the amount of cattle, it's not the main reason for global warming, but a lot of people realize the amount of cattle and livestock that we produce for consumption, the causes or the problems that causes on the environment. Again, depending on your leanings. Please don't start fussing here because I can't moderate very effectively when y'all are on social media. But they do it for the harm that they feel that the consumption of animal products and of any type, food or household products, causes to the environment. Political activism. In fact, one of our children who really feels she's done her research into this feels like that we should all stop eating meat around the house. It's not going to happen. Something would have to really change my mind and heart for me to give up my meat. But she's very serious about, at some point, she wants to move to a vegan, vegetarian lifestyle, and she's got a lot of political reasons that she believes that it's walking in hypocrisy for her to eat. I'm trying not to get tickled. But anyway, I admire that, though. If she can pull that off, she will have my utmost respect. Animal lovers. Animal lovers feel that it's wrong to eat any animal product whatsoever. And, I can't fuss at them too much, but because before the flood, God didn't commission man or woman to eat any animal product. We were only allowed to eat plants until after the flood. And health reasons. There are many, many wonderful health benefits to living a vegan and vegetarian lifestyle, which I feel like we'll cover today in a general way. Let's look at the health benefits. It will help you attain a healthy weight. And see, that's our chief goal here. Not because of what a healthy weight only does for your physiology, but what it does for your mind, your heart, your spirit. We want to be a mind, body, and soul program. Now, here's the thing I want to say before we get into this. Any program that allows your blood panel to show improvements, cholesterol goes down, you just got to bet your blood work comes back a lot better and your blood pressure goes down. Any program that's doing that and helping you minimize your waistline will produce the same results that a vegan or vegetarian, maybe not on a cellular level. Yeah, even on a cellular level. I'm trying to support our vegans and vegetarians here. But anything that helps you reduce your waistline is going to extend your lifeline. This is just another way that, if it appeals to you, is a great way for you to lose weight and get healthy. And here's the thing, if you do it our way, you'll lose weight very, very rapidly and in a helpful way. But if you're including all kind of sugar and starch, I've looked at a lot of our vegetarian brother and sisters journals only to find out that they're consuming high levels of processed sugar and starch and calling themselves a vegan or vegetarian, and they don't know why they can't lose weight. So then we look for something else to blame it on, thyroid or whatever. It's this simple. If you eat in a calorie range that's below your baseline metabolic rate and you control blood sugar with right food combinations, you lose the fat. So this and many versions of our program will help you lose weight and become healthier. One of the things I notice when I have these clean, what I'm going to call today, clean eating days, divine days, I feel better inside and out. I feel cleaner. I'm not talking about my skin. Inside, I feel cleaner. Michelle probably knows what I'm talking about. Brittany probably knows what I'm talking about. Your body's not having to process and break down a lot of animal product. That's why we're big on portions when it comes to your meat. Got to eat in the right portion. It's really hard and taxing on the digestive system for your body to break down meat, especially the more fatty meats like steak and pork. We can have it on our program, but it's hard on the body. So I like to fast from those types of foods a few days a month. Maybe you decide, hey, if it's good a few days a month, why not every day? I'll support you. But it helps you feel good inside and out. You'll wake up feeling more refreshed, energized. Why? Again, the life and death begins in the digestive system. It begins and ends in the digestive system and in the colon. So if your body's always having to process where you've overconsumed anything and always having to process animal products, then a lot of your energy reserves are going toward your body trying to deal with that because it can't stay in there. You know, you don't want all that undigested matter in there. You want the body to process that and get rid of the waste. Well, it's really hard to do that if you're over consuming meat and animal products. So when you go on a plant-based program, you'll wake up feeling refreshed and energized because at night, instead of your body having to process a lot of food, your body's just getting a chance to recover and heal itself. So important. Can't overstress that. Back when I first started many years ago, right before bed, if I was going to bed late and hadn't had my third meal of the day, then I would eat a piece of chicken breast. Still will from time to time. But now knowing what I know and journaling, being an avid journaler and recording how it makes me feel the next day, I rarely will put meat inside of me right before bed. I don't want my body having to deal with that at night when I'm supposed to be recovering. If your digestive system's overtaxed, it's hard for the body to recover and heal. So a plant-based program like this will help you wake up feeling refreshed and energized. You'll experience amazing overall health improvements. There's no doubt about it, as long as you understand the limitations of these types of what I'll call diets, okay? It can be a lifestyle, but when we talk about our diet, I'm not talking about from the sense dieting, losing weight. I'm talking about what's your daily diet like? You know, the Shibboleth person's daily diet is such a way. It's fish and, you know, category 1s and 2s and 3s. That's a type of diet, not diet in the sense of losing weight because we're a lifestyle. But if your diet is made up of plant-based foods combined right, your blood sugar's not running away with you, then you'll experience amazing overall health improvements. Healthy blood pressure and healthy blood sugar levels, if you do it our way, are assured. They're just assured. I hate to hear somebody say, I'm going to be stuck on high blood pressure medication the rest of my life. Many of you here know that's not true when you do Shibboleth, regardless if you do it the 100% plant-based or you do it the original way that we teach it. It doesn't matter. It breaks my heart to hear someone say, I'm going to be on high blood pressure the rest of my life. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure at 15, put on medication at 15, told I would be on it for the rest of my life. Within a few weeks of doing this, many years later, my blood pressure, my acid reflux, cholesterol, all of it was normalized. That quick. Can happen for you. Again, I don't treat, cure, diagnose, prescribe. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a lowly sports nutrition consultant, a lowly wellness coach, and I don't even like to say that. I'm a person of experience. I've lost a lot of weight and kept it off. To me, experiential education is the best kind. Helps with you maintaining, reducing bad cholesterol and maintaining healthy cholesterol. Do I need to become a vegan or vegetarian? I've got a bottom line question for you. And this could be a question that I ask somebody who's not doing Shibboleth, any part of Shibboleth. I could ask this question, and depending on how you answer this, I can tell you if you need this program or some other program if you don't like my style of teaching. I can tell you. I can ask the bottom line question and then tell you based upon your answer. Do you feel better? I hope some folks that are in my relapse group, Tuesday night relapse group, I hope you'll pay particular attention here. The answer to all of life's problems is in the question and how we answer it, and then what we're willing to do about it. Do you feel better or worse after eating? I want you all to answer that question. Do you feel better or worse after eating? If your answer is, I always feel worse after I eat, you need to change something. You're either overeating, you're eating too much good food or bad food, because anytime we stretch our stomach, our body's going to reject that. Your mind doesn't, because you like the mouth pleasure of the food, so you keep eating. But anytime you can feel that food in your gut, you've eaten too much. Or if you're eating junk, it tasted good, you got a mouth orgasm. Yeah, I said it. Some instant mouth pleasure. But then after consuming that food, you felt worse. If that's happening to you, you're not eating right. You're not living right. Food should nourish your body and leave your body feeling energized and refreshed. You should never eat when you're not hungry. You shouldn't skip meals to lose weight faster, but you should never eat, even if it's time to eat, if you're not hungry. Your body's smart. Think about the last time that you waited 6-7 hours to eat, but then your body signaled, I'm hungry, feed me. I like to say this. Food is not a solution for boredom, anger, stress, entertainment. It's only a solution for a growling tummy. Jesus is the answer to all of life's other questions. And even with that, we can't live by bread alone, can we, Michelle? But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. So, when you asked yourself that question, and you think back to the time that you were famished, and you controlled your appetite when it was time to eat, and you ate a right portion-controlled meal. For me, that might look like a broiled piece of fish. Well, last night, broiled fish and collards. I ate that portion, and I didn't feel full. I felt energized and nourished. That's the way food is supposed to make us feel. If it makes you feel any other way, something's off, something's wrong. You're actually going against yourself. You're your own worst enemy. So when you live a plant-based way, what you'll find is that just like living a moderate Shibboleth lifestyle, even with the meats, 3 portion controlled combined meals a day, while you'll feel a lot more energized. You'll feel better about life. You'll be more optimistic. Your brain will work better. Everything works better. You are what you eat. We've all heard this saying, and it's so true. We're going to reap what we sow. Our flesh will reap what we sow into it. If I eat disgusting pizza, unapproved pizza with all that starch, all that flour, and all that fat, that bad fat, that's what I'm going to become. A big old fatty pizza. Leviticus 17:11 says, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood." Okay? So we become what we eat, and so does our blood. Our blood work will show our doctor what we've been eating most of the time. That's not to say we can't have a holiday and go off the grid for 6 days a month. You've seen that I had 3 last month. So it's not to say that you can't go off the grid. You can. And it won't have any major detrimental impact to your blood work. But what you do most of the time will. A lot of us we do this a day or two and think, well, I'm doing a lot better, don't know why I'm not losing weight. You're supposed to do this every day. A lifestyle is about every day. And occasionally, we choose not to, or we accidentally mess up. It's like sin. Anybody that says they have no sin in them is a liar, and the truth is not in them. But I don't have a lifestyle of sin. You see, I make mistakes, and there's grace. The grace of God is sufficient, but I don't have a lifestyle of just doing what I want, when I want, whenever I want. And that's the way your nutrition should be. So the life and health of the flesh is in the blood. A good example of a person being what they eat can be seen in science. It can be seen in your blood plasma. Your blood plasma is clear liquid. But after eating a pizza, an improper pizza, I might add, your blood plasma becomes thick with fat and cholesterol. It will look very cloudy instead of clear. This is what your body's absorbing after you eat a high-fat, starch-laden pizza. So no wonder you feel lethargic. No wonder you've got the brain fog going on after you eat stuff like that. It's only, listen, y'all, it's only temporal mouth pleasure. It's not worth it if you begin with the end in mind. It's not going to make you feel good. Eat one of those real good pizzas if you want a pizza. That's a brand, by the way. In the beginning, I guess I got to say humankind now for all the sensitive folks, we're all exclusively vegans. Before the flood, God only allowed for humans to nourish themselves with a plant-based diet, or at least that's all that was allowed, because God's the Alpha and the Omega. Can you really say at this point he meant you could have this but not this and changed his mind later? God changes not. So we got to understand it spiritually speaking. I guess it was always allowed to eat either, but from the standpoint of how time began and time is unfolding, in the very beginning it was a plant-based diet. After the flood, God allowed humans to eat plants and animals. There was no processed sugars or starches. This is the devil. If I'd had time, I'd put a big image of the devil right there. There was no processed sugars and starches. When you eat processed sugars and starches, and it's in almost in every food in the center aisles of the grocery store, and now it's even in a lot of the meat products where they're infusing it with so much starch. A little starch we can get away with. It's never good, but we got to make sure that we're eating it and sugar in the right food combination if our issue and our situation is that we want to lose weight. Sugar and starch elevates blood sugar rapidly, and there's nothing we can do to fix that if we eat it by itself. It's poison. It's evil. Exodus 20:25 says, "And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, Thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. What is this saying? In a nutshell, this is saying anything that man's hand touches that God allowed and ordained, if our hand touches it, we corrupt it. You think about your whole foods, the foods that we should be eating. Man tries to figure out a way to manufacture it, process it, so on and so forth, cheapen it so that people don't say it's too expensive and still make big margins on it, whatever. Anytime our hand touches it, we corrupt it. And you can see that in our food supply. Now, I'm not one of those holy rollers about that, because there's even a need. We're also supposed to, as mankind, humankind, we're also supposed to usurp authority over the world. It's what he told Adam to do. Go out, make it yours, conquer it. And, we're going into a place where the population's getting such, if there's not genetically modified foods, empty calories or genetically modified foods, a lot of people will starve to death. So don't preach against it too much, folks. That's one of the things we tell our children. It doesn't do any good because they're getting really indoctrinated in certain political kind of lanes. But before you judge too harshly anyone, understand why your life is as good as it is. If you preach against genetically modified foods too much, 2/3 of the world's population 50 years from now will die of famine. So be careful what you wish for. If you're not willing to be a part of the solution and you're just going to consume, just think again. Just saying, there's always two sides to every argument. But back to this. What God's saying is, the more you touch it, the more you're going to corrupt it and mess it up. Is there a downside? Not much of one. There is going to be less variety. Okay, this is the path that you're selecting. You say, oh, there's tons of variety. Yeah, but the problem with that is, brother, sister, is that most of that variety that you're finding that says vegan or it can be utilized by a vegetarian, most of that stuff is full of starch and sugar, the processed junk. So what man has done is taken what people wanted to do as a better, more wholesome, helpful path, and said, all these people are leaving the way, our modern way of eating and doing, and they're moving to this vegan and vegetarian thing. How can we make money off them? So they come up with these products, they twist the truth, twist the rules, and they come up with products, knowing how people are, that people are busy, that they can stamp a label on that product saying it's vegan or vegetarian, and people will buy it, and we can still make our money. The whole environmental thing, the whole green thing. Don't you realize that so much of that is about new money? Old money's done been made off of all types of fuels, fossil fuels and whatever. We need new ways, new money coming in. Always the love of money is the root of all evil. So be careful. Don't always just believe that they're force feeding you, even on a label. Because if it's full of sugar and starch and your situation is you need to lose weight, that chip might be gluten-free, but it's full of tapioca starch. That chip may be a vegan chip, but it's full of starch. Be careful. Starch is horrible. It's the devil. The more restrictive you are in your vegetarian and vegan approach, the more deficiencies there might be. Amino acid deficiencies. You might want to consult your physician and get on some liver amino, or get on something like Advocare's Catalyst, branched chain amino acids. Because a lot of plant-based foods, all plant-based foods other than soy, which people are against that now too. So if they still eating it. But anyway, other than soy and hemp, you just don't have complete protein sources if you just stick exclusively with plants, and your body needs essential and non-essential amino acids to thrive. Potential B12 deficiencies. You might want to talk to your physician about that if you're serious about becoming a vegan or vegetarian. And zinc deficiencies. It's big for male and female, but especially male, because A male wants to get adequate amounts of zinc, because if you don't, you could suffer from low testosterone levels. So just think about these things. Consult with your physician if you're serious. Now, if you're just going to do like I do and incorporate a vegan lifestyle here and there, then you won't have to worry about these deficiencies. It's just if you're moving exclusively to a vegan, vegetarian lifestyle. How to incorporate and still live the Shibboleth lifestyle. Let me come out of here and see if we got any questions so far as we're nearing the end. Back to the chat here. Any questions or comments? And Angie was right. Unless they knock on the door, Travis is long-winded again. Hemp is great. I can put you together a meal plan, but I think you'll be able to when we get done with this. I'm hoping you'll be able to as a Phase 2 member. But certainly, and by the way, just a little housekeeping, I told the group last week I was going to get y'all out a cancer a cancer patient meal plan for you to take to your physician for their approval. And we've done that, and our designers are working on that to make it look better. So bear with me. I haven't forgotten about you, and I won't forget about this. I'll do you a meal plan. But again, at some point, we've got to figure out how to do this for ourselves. I think a meal plan might open your mind up a little bit to the possibilities. Hemp is great. Simplified meal plan. I think, who is that? I don't see the whole name there. I think you'll be able to do much of that when we get done. So I'm going to go right back to it since there's not any questions. All right, first of all, let me go over this real quick because we're running out of time. We've got a different type of food pyramid, don't we, on Planet Shibboleth? You've still got to eat in the right food combinations if your goal is to lose weight. Okay? You still have to eat in the right food combinations. What we've got to be careful of if we're going to live this lifestyle is our category 1 lean protein category, because that's full of meat, right? Lean meats. Category 4 and category 7. So immediately you're basically having to eliminate all the meat in 1, all the meat in category 4, and all the meat in category 7. If I look at my food combination chart, I see that's a lot of stuff that I can't have. So I've got to come up with good replacements that allow me to still get my protein in and still hold on to my lean tissue and still get in proper amounts of amino acids. Lost 16.4 pounds last week, y'all. Don Rittenhouse, way to go. Bless the name of the Lord. Man, that's amazing. Great job. Great job, Don. Thanks for sharing. There are lots of meat substitutes, but we've got to understand what category they go in. I'm going to give you formulas today, so get your pen, pencil, and paper out. There's products, companies like Light Life that make meat substitutes. Now, all of these, and I do use some of these, I like to cook in MCT oil. You may want to use ghee butter or coconut oil, but to me, that gives it back that meat flavor that I like. Okay? I fry the smart bacon in MCT oil. That's one I actually like. Can't stand it in Pam. Can't stand it by itself. But I love it in MCT oil. It's got a good bacon flavor. They're smart ground meat, substitute meat does. But Light Life, Tofurkey, Boca, and my favorite, Gardein. Those are just a few brands. If you find more, you'll approach that just like you do the current program that you're on with us. You submit it, we look at it, and we'll put it where it goes. And then it's there for everybody. Thousands of items already approved. but these are just a few. So if living a vegan and vegetarian lifestyle does not appeal to you because you give up the enjoyment of meat, but it does appeal from the health benefit standpoint, or maybe you want to be an activist, a political activist, or you love animals so much you can't bear the thought of eating them. Whatever it is, there's a solution for it. And these products offer some good solutions. But understand, many of these products are full of sugar and starch. That's what holds them and binds them together so that they're like meat. Starch more than sugar. Got to be careful with that, because starch will elevate your blood sugar rapidly and you'll get a big dump of the fat bus so that you don't go in a diabetic coma and die. And if the fat bus is running through your bloodstream, there'll be no efficient fat burn. So pen, pencil, paper, let's look at easy formulas. I'll be putting these on the website. Easy formulas. Now, it was more complicated than this. However, I looked at it and said, what simple rule will take care of most all of this stuff? There'll always be an exception of a yay or a nay, depending on the ingredient profile. But what were some easy formulas that would take care of most 90% of all products that are meat substitutes? If you want it to be a category 1 substitute, think back to your chart, and it's all those ones that are on that chart. And people say, well, I can't do this. Well, there's thousands of vegan, vegetarian meat substitutes. For it to be a category 1 meat substitute, your serving, if you look at the label, and I'm going to give you an example, should be, a serving would be 120 calories or less per serving. And your protein would need to be greater than or equal to your net carbs. If it meets that formula, it's category 1. Then you've got category 4. What would fall into, because a lot of these meat substitutes are higher in fat. What would fall into a category 4 meat? I should say meat, not meal. Meat substitute. 200 calories or less per serving, and the protein has to be greater than or equal to the net carbs. These 2 simple rules takes care of all meat substitutes on Planet Shibboleth, so that the database can just grow and thrive as you find more and more. We'll be adding lots of Gardein products. Some are already in there, Boca, Light Life, and more. And now you vegans and vegetarians can help with that process. But these 2 simple formulas will take care of our vegans and vegetarians as far as on that combination chart where you see category 1 and 4. Now, how do I do that? Travis, I'm not good with math. Yeah, you are. You're better than you think. This was one that I like. And you'll notice it's breaded. So this is Gardein, and it's chicken strips, breaded chicken strips. I like to fry them in MCT oil. Notice that the serving size is less than 120 calories. 2 pieces is 100 calories. Now I've got to look at my net carbs. Net carbs is your total carbohydrate minus fiber minus sugar alcohol. There's no sugar alcohol. There's 8 carbs and 1 gram of fiber. That means I've got 7 grams of net carbs. Is everybody with me? 8 grams of protein is greater than or equal to 7 net carbs. So that's a category 1. What if I have 4 pieces of it? Well, if I have 4 pieces of it, I went over my serving range, but I could, because it would still fall into the category 4 formula. So I could have 4 pieces as a category 4. Now, when I come out of this PowerPoint, let me know if that made sense or not, because I'm going to keep moving right now. But that's how easy and simple it is to find meat substitutes. This is a category 1 meat substitute. If I go with 2 pieces, if I go with 4 pieces, it would be a category 4 because I'm still falling under my 200 calorie range and my net carbs would still be less than my protein. Other great protein substitutes. Hemp hearts are the best. Pintos, Ezekiel bread, hemp flakes, black beans, No Better Foods brand, that's the waffle picture, but they have a lot of different products, No Better Foods brand, that are perfect for many of our vegetarians. The vegans will have to determine if those products are right for them. Explore Cuisine black bean pasta, red beans, nuts and seeds, Explore Cuisine mung bean pasta, chickpeas, hemp milk, and there are others. I hear them outside, so I got to get going. Are there any snacks? I found some good stuff lately that I'm incorporating on my divine days. At last, they've got these fava beans. Fava beans. They're great for weight loss in that they have a lot less calories than regular nuts or seeds. They're a superfood actually, but they've got some flavored ones. It's another great way to get a snack in that's not going to hurt you if you're a vegan or vegetarian or just doing regular Shibboleth. Told you I would share my favorite way of having a divine day, and it's this. I love to do this. I challenge you to do it. If you can't do this, you probably don't want to live a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. It's one of them things that sounds good to you, but the doing of it is not so good. But if you can do this, then you can certainly live a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. This is the hardest way to do it, but man, the benefits. I love having these days. I have a huge, as much as I want, usually in one of those big bamboo salad bowls, of all kind of category 2 veggies and carrots and cherry tomatoes. And then I load up my salad with either 8 tablespoons of hemp hearts or 12 tablespoons of hemp flakes, or I mix them together and I use an approved dressing. And it's so big, I can just graze on it all day. And then I quit eating after 6 o'clock. That will get you to go into the bathroom too, not in an emergency way, but in a healthful way, help really clean you out. This is a great way to detox your body. I would challenge anybody to bite the bullet and to do this for 3 days in a row. The health benefits and the weight loss, ginormous. But this is a way, everything there, it would fall into a vegan type, not a vegetarian, even more, the more strict vegan type of lifestyle. It's a good test for you to give that a shot. If that's all you have, I mean a big salad, one of them big bamboo, it's like for the whole family, a big bamboo salad. Just fill it up with as many cucumbers, broccoli, cauliflower, cherry tomatoes, carrots. Just load it up. And I use an approved dressing. I make homemade Catalina dressing. And man, I can just munch on that thing all day. I do that on days I'm really busy, because as long as I'm busy, I don't miss anything. But it's when we're not busy that our mind gets on food and mouth pleasure. But boy, it really sustains me. And the next day I just feel so good and alive and energetic. That's something you should try. And of course, drink your water. Make sure that you supplement properly if you're going to live any type of lifestyle that restricts calories. I take Advocare Metabolic Nutrition System and or Zero Drag Vitamins Plus Pro. Some of you that are vegans, you probably want to research out and get your own. They don't have anything to do with any type of animal products, so on and so forth. All right, I'm going to come out of this and see if I can answer questions. Any questions? That's the end of it, and I'm about out of time here. Any questions or comments? Black bean burgers. I've lost 21 pounds in 2 months as a vegetarian. Yes, yes. Way to go, Natalie. That's awesome. Awesome job. Listing some more stuff that works for you. Good. Formula for figuring net carbs again. Okay. Net carbs is figured this way. Let me just type it in here. Y'all bear with me. Carbs minus fiber minus, and we cover this in many of the videos too, just so you know. Carbs minus fiber minus sugar, not sugar, but sugar alcohol, equal net carbs. Net carbs are the carbs that have impact on blood sugar. We don't push supplements. All I can do, since you're asking, Stephanie, is tell you I do take digestive enzymes. I take, it's called Digest Ease from Advocare. You can take ones that they won't hurt your weight loss. They can only help. Of course, ask your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but because they could interfere with some medications you're on. So yes, I take digestive enzymes. I take probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes, and with consistency, you see the health benefits from those things, your immune system and more. Stephanie can't hear. Can anybody, Stephanie can't hear me. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I don't know how to help. Can the rest of you hear me? Yeah, Stephanie's on Zoom too. She can't hear me. She don't have her chat set to everybody either. Sorry, Stephanie, she can't hear this. So anyway, we are recording it, so she'll get it. Yes, beans are great. On the list, we put those up. Black beans, pintos, red beans. Some beans are higher in starch, non-processed starch, but higher in starch than other beans. So you want to look at your categories. If it's a category 3 bean, you still got to put that category 1 and 2 with it. Where I see our vegans and vegetarians going wrong is they just don't buy into the food combination rules that we teach and preach. And that's why you struggle, not you, but that's why that person will struggle with weight loss. Even though they're a vegan and vegetarian, they end up exasperated because they think just because something says vegan or vegetarian, it's all right. But pintos, red beans, black beans, refried beans, these types of things are absolutely fine. They're in category 6 already. So category 6 is a perfect place for our vegans and vegetarians to start. That's right, Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. And, you know, there's proof that if this stuff overwhelms you, you got people like Cindy, they've learned it. And what one person can do, you can too. Okay. Any other questions? What have I missed? Nobody's knocking on the door yet. What have I missed? Anybody else? Was this helpful? Was it beneficial at all? Any more questions on the food formulas? Only problem with doing a meal plan. Another question about, can you send me a meal plan? The only problem with that is we already send a gazillion meal plans, but I don't know what you like. I don't know what food you like. So I would be throwing darts in the dark. And most of the time when I do that, I've wasted my time and yours. It would be best for you to tell me, send me look at if you want me to help, I need you to do this. I need you to list what foods in the categories as a vegan or vegetarian that you like and will eat. Then it becomes easy for my team to put together for you a meal plan. If we only had a few things approved, it would be easy. But when we have thousands of items approved, we're throwing darts in the dark unless you tell me. You've got to invest yourself in that meal plan as well, is what I'm saying. You've got to invest your time into it too. I don't want to just throw things, because I don't, honestly, I love you, but I don't have time. I don't have time to, and still try to love y'all in other ways. I just don't have time to come up, because most time when I send a meal plan, people go, I don't like high-fat stuff on the meal plan. So send me what you like, and we'll get you some help. It'll be our honor and pleasure to do that. Do you feel meat substitutes are not as quick as weight loss as meat? Knowing the body, yeah, I do. I do feel that meat substitutes are not as efficient for weight loss as a meat. Here's what, it's real simple. It's real simple why it's not. Starch. It's 9 times like that. Okay, for example, chicken breast don't have carbs in it. The chicken strips I just showed you will work, but they had carbs. They had 8 grams of carbs. So that isn't naturally occurring carbohydrate that's like in a bean. That's infused starch. Does that make sense? So we're keeping the starch low enough via our rule that you could still lose weight. But you're going to lose weight faster with chicken breast. But if your belief and desire and commitment is to a vegan lifestyle or vegetarian lifestyle, then you should most certainly go with those meat substitutes. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Yes, whole foods work. But we got some folks that are really passionate about living this vegan and vegetarian lifestyle. I got kids, I got to come up with a solution for them, because our most alpha kid is the one that keeps preaching it, and she'll probably win the whole family over except for me before it's over. She's like Brittany. She's going to live clean. I ain't doing it. I am so sorry to ask this in 30 seconds or less. What is your answer on enzymes? I could not hear. I do take digestive enzymes. If you eat small portions of meat and eat it with fiber, it's not necessarily that you need them. I believe in digestive enzymes and probiotics and prebiotics for immune system health. So I take both. I take Advocare Digest-Ease. You probably have another one that you prefer, but that's the one I take. And then I take probiotics and prebiotics. I think those are good for the immune system and will help break down animal product. Your body's well able to break this stuff down in right portions. The problem is we tend to eat too much meat. Yes, I'm a meat, fish, and veggie lifestyle too, sis. Yes, I'm very proud of Brittany too. I'm proud of our young people. They ain't old enough to tell us how to live yet. Y'all remember that. They're trying to do that. But I'm proud of them for expressing themselves and having opinions. Anybody else? Any questions or comments? Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got a new class lineup coming up. The 2 new classes that are coming up next week, if you look at the schedule that we put out, is the well-requested classes. One of them is on Shibboleth void replacements. What's the void replacement for Reese's? What's the void replacement for Moose Tracks ice cream? So on and so forth. Void replacement class, and then a maintenance class. Even if you're not in maintenance, it will help you prepare for maintenance, because that's one thing I've noticed is that a lot of us are lifetime weight loss students. It's not supposed to be that way. Most of your Shibboleth journey should be spent in maintenance, because we're going to do it forever. So you lose weight, you get done with it. You don't do this year after year after year. You get done with it. You finish, and then you go into maintenance, and you get 12 holidays a month. Praise God. Anybody else? Questions, comments? If you enjoyed the class, let people hear it. That's how I get my tips. I mean like a waiter. I feel like y'all giving me a tip. Maybe I was only worth a quarter today, but just tell people about the class. We need more people in class. Feel free now to submit your recipes. I'll be going over with the team how we're going to put more of this stuff in the website come next week. I'll get out a sample meal plan, and I still owe you the cancer meal plan. We'll do all of that, okay? We're working on it. We've just got limited hands working on stuff, so everything's in a queue, and we work on it as fast as we can, one thing at a time. Thank you all. Love you in the Lord. We'll see you next time. Y'all have a great Saturday.